So Giuseppe had a good line. I'm with him at a boba place. So Shirley Temple went from innocent, cute, humble child star, big Beyonce. Yes? Beyonce. You were the Beyonce of child stars, the first Beyonce. And then you became a humanitarian for Ghana around the world. And then on Larry King Live, you're like, oh, my best-selling thing was, for an entire century, was the Shirley Temple doll. Like, you're going to be a bitch about the Shirley Temple? You're going to be a douchebag about the Shirley Temple doll?
Out of everything that you could have.
Out of everything you've done and you could have, you're going to, like, be like, what did you say?
Brag about the one thing you didn't actually work on?
You're going to brag about the one thing you didn't actually work on? Great. If there's anything else. Or she could be the Michael Jackson of child stars. Shirley set the example for child stars and none of them followed it. She has a drink named after her, and it's as non-alcoholic as she looks, and she still won't even talk about it. When I order a Shirley Temple at a bar, does she get like 100% of it every time I order? Every movie, it seems like Shirley Temple's mom dies, and she's left with a dad or stepdad. I can't believe she's still so humble with like 20 of her moms dying. She was a real-life Disney princess because all her moms died. Does Hollywood have daddy issues? Shirley Temple is so cute that if she were alive today, she'd be on To Catch a Predator a lot, and it would be produced by MGM still. Sorry, it's actually Fox. Shirley Temple, when she got older, was almost cast in Wizard of Oz. There's like an audition tape on YouTube of her as like Dorothy, but she was way too nice, and you know, Wizard of Oz is kind of a fucked up movie, so they needed a future drug addict to convey the intense plot that she's to convey the intense hallucinations of it all, the twister reality.
Good.
You guys, you know, Shirley Temple tap danced, and every time she tap danced, every song was actually in Morse code, and it was like, "Help me from the pedophiles of Hollywood." A lot of people ask if Shirley Temple was in the Harvey Weinstein era, but nope. By the time he was in Hollywood, she was way too old for him, and he wasn't interested. Okay, about bragging, when she brags about the doll being the best seller of like the 20th century, I could also say she even saved an entire network from bankruptcy, and you don't even talk about it? Shirley, how many laps did you sit in? And by that I mean, did you go to school and run track like the rest of us? Shirley Temple made a lot of people happy during the Depression era. She was like the smiley face of the Depression era. And then, you know, the Walmart commercials in the 90s had the smiley face. And since Walmart and the Depression are like the same thing, Shirley was like the the smiley face of the 1930s Walmart. She was basically a Walmart greeter, but for the movies. Shirley Temple made 20 movies from the day she was like 1 year old. So when she hit 21, no more movies. Too old. That's when Harvey Weinstein came up, and he's like, "You're not my type." So from the age of 21 to the day she died, she was just living off of her fame and coasting. And by that I mean surfing off the coast of Ghana. She took up surf lessons. All right. Shirley Temple died of COPD, pulmonary emphysema. So all the commercials for like drugs, for like emphysema drugs, that's basically her in all the commercials, and it didn't work. So in 1950, she did an anthology of like fairy tale movies.
Fairy tale adaptations. It was a two-season TV show.
A two-season TV show of fairy tale adaptations, which they didn't do too well, which proves you can't undercut evil Disney. Okay. She also had breast cancer, and then they did a movie about it, and it was cured because it wasn't real. Actually, her mom died of it later in the movie, so. Shirley Temple didn't smoke, but, you know, when you work with a bunch of old guys who are possibly pedophiles in Hollywood, you're eventually going to catch something because they're smoking all the time. Shirley Temple didn't smoke during a time when everyone smoked, but she danced so much that eventually she died of secondhand tap dancing.